Well, welcome back here. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I'll recap it for you. Roth got 2 quick outs in the third. Had a hit let up in the bottom of the third with 2 outs, and then a great catch by the right fielder for the Harbor Hawks. Actually went through the fence to be able to get the ball as the fence was a little open. And now we're getting ready to start the top of the fourth.
And Hyannis with a lead, 2-0 here in Game 1 of the Patriot League of the Patriot Cup Series on the year. So definitely good that Hyannis, for their young ball club, as they're trying to get used to each other, can get out to some early leads and be able to play confidently together.
Todd Lott with a leadoff home run in the third, and then a sacrifice fly from Pasquantino being able to get in the runner. And the pitcher's in. That'll be a foul ball off of Trevor Harvard's foot, but he'll be all right. Cotuit able to get their first hit of the game now. Hyannis has 4 to Cotuit's 1. If you're joining us, Hyannis is up 2-0 in the top of the fourth. 1-0 count. Pitches in. That is a towering fly ball out to right field. And that is gone. Trevor Hoover able to get that ball and tattoos out to right field. It is now 3-0 Hyannis.
He didn't have any home runs in his freshman year at ASU, but there's his first one of the calendar year, a moonshot out to right field, and gives Hyannis a 3-run advantage here in the top of the fourth.
Nick Durr up at the plate.
Durr is the one you'd expect to hit the home runs.
Absolutely. Pitches an inside. Almost hits him with the color strike.
I mean, he was able to hit 6 for the Seminoles this year down in Florida State.
Ground balls to the shortstop. He has it. He'll throw it on to first, and just in time for the first out in the top of the fourth. Back-to-back innings, a leadoff home run let up by McGlarty. The guy just hit the leadoff home run in the third. Todd Lott will be up.
What's up, Mr. Slide? How's everything? Nice to see you.
First pitch of the at-bat for Lott is in. A ball just outside.
Lott's another guy you'd expect to have some home run power. I mean, he comes in standing at 6'4", 220 pounds, but didn't hit any this year for Louisiana Lafayette.
Ball just inside. He hit a home run in the top of the third inning to put them up 1-0, showing that home run power. One count in the top of the fourth. Pitch is low, almost in the dirt.
It's amazing what the wood bat league can do for guys sometimes. You get a piece of lumber in their hands, and maybe it just feels a little bit more natural than the composites.
And it hit the bat. It did not. It hit him on the wrist. And that is, it went out hit by pitch.
Just barely getting nicked by that one, but a free pass is a free pass. Lott will take it. He's having his best game of the summer so far, only his second game, but still a home run. And then another trip to the base paths right after.
Now it's Kyle Wilkie. Throws it back to first, but he'll be safe. Pitches in. A foul ball Just besides us here, but goes foul. 1-0 count down. It's Wilkie. Lott is on first. Just got hit by a pitch. Everyone in the ballpark thought it hit the knob of his bat, but the umpire did not think so because he has the best view.
Exactly, and he's back there wearing his he's dressed to the nines. I mean, a little chilly out there, so he has the jacket on, and when you get the umpires with the jacket on, it looks like that late October World Series kind of look. It's very classy.
Goes back to first, but he'll be safe.
Harkens back to the umpires that you see in those pictures from the 1970s and the 1950s when they would wear those jackets almost all the time if they were the crew chief.
1-1 count. Pitches in. Foul ball. 1-2 count. Went on the top of the fourth. The Harborhawks are up 3-0 against Cotuit if you're joining us.
Trust Wilkie to put the ball in play. Already he's done so today. Has a hit. 1 for 1 in his Cape League debut.
Pitches inside. Now 2-2 count to Wilkie.
Hit .315 in his college campaign as well. So somebody who's very skilled at putting the bat to the ball.
Foul ball.
And the Hawks generally have been working McLarty pretty well this game as he's really struggled to get outs and he's had to scuffle to get Harborhawks down.
Throws it back to first, but Lott will be safe.
I mean, it goes to show the Hawks working counts, and he's been trying to avoid the strike zone as best he can, but when he's gone in the strike zone, the Hawks have hit him pretty hard. 2 home runs in this game, and a double, too. 2 doubles.
Strike 3 called. Throws back to first, but he will be safe. It'll be a 2-out strikeout. Matthew Barefoot up at the top for the Harborhawks. He'll be up. Very good crowd here at Lowell Park, as usual. Harborhawks had a pretty good crowd for last night's game. Second home game on the year, 2018.
Well, everybody in the park knows what's at stake. Barnstable Patriot Cup, a prized possession of the Cotuit Kettleers.
That's a strike right down the plate.
You call it their possession because they are able to win it not only last year, but the Kettleers have won the Patriot Cup 5 of the last 6 seasons.
The Harborhawks definitely want to change that this year.
Absolutely.
1-0 count. Goes back to first. Flott will be safe.
Hyannis hasn't won the Patriot Cup since 2015, and that year was a glory year for Hyannis. It was the last time they made the Cape Cod Championship Series, and also they had a clean sweep of the Kettleers. Running to that Barnstable Patriot Cup.
Pitches in. Swing, and it misses Barefoot. McLarty with a great fastball at 89.
A little bit of tail on that as well. His fastball with some very good natural movement on it.
0-2 count on Barefoot. Oh, pitch. A pitch out. They don't hear that much anymore in baseball.
Absolutely not, but they're trying to keep Lott honest. He's been dancing off the line. He's been shuffling his feet a little bit as he takes those leads off of first base. Trying to distract the man on the mound, and it's been working.
Goes back to first. Misses him, and Lott will advance to second base, and he'll be standing up. To its first error on the evening. McLarty really paying a lot of attention to Lott at first. Had a hard time throwing over.
No, absolutely. And in this cold, makes sense. You're trying to change the distance at which you throw the baseball. You'll have a little bit of shakiness in that finger.
Ball is high. 2-2 count.
And they do count that an error, probably an E1, if anything.
2-2 count. Runner on second is Lott. Pitches ball high now, a full count at 3-2 in the top of the fourth. 3-0 Hyannis if you're joining us. You're on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Full count. Pitch. Strike three on that high fastball. The Harborhawks do leave a runner at second, though. They're still up 3-0. Cotuit will be up in the bottom of the fourth. We're on the Harborhawks Digital Network. Welcome back in the bottom of the fourth. Hyannis is up 3-0. Hyannis has 5 hits to the Cavaliers 1. Houston Roth doing a great job on the mound for the Harborhawks. First pitch is inside for a strike. Roth being very effective with his first pitch, being able to get ahead of batters, which is always important. Pitcher's in. That's a strike right down the heart of the plate. Now up 0-2 in the count. Sun's starting to creep out. In Cotuit, it's been a pretty much cloudy day. And he did not go in the check swing. Of Peyton Burdick. Burdick goes to Wright State. Currently has a .625 batting average so far this summer. Pitches in. That'll be a ground ball. Gets to the shortstop. And a one-out single is Burdick. He will not advance to second base. Zachary Bierman. Fireman up at the plate. He went to Coastal Carolina. His 4 at-bats so far this summer. He has 2 hits, so he's batting .500. Right about where you want to be. Pitches in. That gets Pats to catcher, and he'll be standing up at second base. Wilkie unable to get the ball in the dirt behind the plate. Pitches swing and a miss by Byerman. Wilkie and Roth meeting at the mound, but quickly Going back is Wilkie. Still 1-1 count. Nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. Runner goes from second and will slide in. This Burdick got a great lead. Wilkie unable to see it. Two one count. Pitches in. Ball just outside. Now 3-1 count. The runner did take off at third, but trying to get Roth to think about it. That will be a ball in the gap, and it's hit off the left fielder. The ball will land in a double, or Bierman will get the Kettleers on the board. It is now 3-1. Dillard up at the plate. Thomas Dillard goes to Ole Miss. Runner on second, still nobody out. Roth really was first troublesome inning. You're being able to kind of mow it down the past 3 innings. Runs to a little trouble in the bottom of the fourth. Pitches in for a Roth. It's in there for a strike. 1-0 count at 91 miles per hour. On 0 count, the pitch is in. That's a strike. 0-2 count. Pitch is in. Strike 3. Swing and miss. There was Dillard for the first out. Eric Jones up the plate for the Kettleers. Runner on second, 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch is in. That's a ball low. Roth doing a very good job so far today getting ahead of batters. He's down 1-0 in the count. Jones is ahead 1-0 on the count. Pitches in. And he did go. 1-1. Could have been ball 2, but Jones did offer. One count. Pitches in. Swing and a miss. There is Jones. 1-2 count. The bottom of the fourth. Hyannis is up 3-1. Hyannis has 5 hits to the Kettleers 3, but the Kettleers do have an error. Pitches in. Foul ball. There just gets the end of the bat. Jones fighting a 1-2 count down. 1-2 count for Jones. Roth only has one out, but the runner is on second. Swing and a miss was Jones, but he did foul it off. Second at bat, or second time in the at bat, really, where he's fouled off just under his fingertips. Oh, pitch. That's a ball low. Good stop by Wilkie. Almost went in the dirt. Two count, one out in the bottom of the fourth. Hyannis is up 3-1. Cotuit able to get their first run of the game in this inning. Ball low. Now it's going to be a full count. Was down 0-2 at the start of the count, being able to fight off to make it 3-2. Full count to Jones. Pitch is in. That's a ground ball to shortstop. He has it. He'll throw it on to first. And a great pick there by the first baseman, Pasquantino. Joyce up at the plate. First pitch is in for a foul ball. Down the third base side. Pulled it slightly over. Home umpire waiting for one of the bullpen guys to be able to get the ball down the left field line. Count the pitcher's in. That will be a ground ball to the shortstop. He has it. He'll throw it on to first. And that will do it there as a Chris McCall over at first base, but the first base umpire being able to call him out. After 4 innings here at Lowell Park, it is 3-1 Hyannis in the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Welcome back here in the top of the 5th. Jake Dexter on the mound for the Kettleers. That'll be the end of the day for McLarty as he pitched 4 innings, put up 3 runs, and allowed 5 hits. First pitch in there. He's a sidearm pitcher's in there for a strike. Is Dexter.
Even though I've been there, and it's beautiful. It doesn't matter. Beautiful.
And that is in there for a strike. Wenzel up the plate for Hyannis. It's a ball. They'll hit the back of the backstop. One, 2 count. That's a ball just outside. Could have been strike 3. And that is a fly ball out to left field. The center fielder gets it, though, as it almost goes into the gap for the first out. Pedro Page is up at the plate for the Harbor Hawks with 1 out on the top of the 5th. The Harbor Hawks trying to widen their lead as their lead was cut down to just 2 after a run in the bottom of the 4th for the Kettleers. That's a ball in the dirt. The Harbor Hawks have 5 hits to the Cotuit's 3. Cotuit does have an error. Ball inside right around the belt buckle of Pages. It's a ball outside. 3-0 count. After a quick fly ball out for Dexter, he's now down 3-0 in the count. Pitches in for a strike just outside. Throw me over pitch at 83 miles per hour. And that it's a ground ball to the second baseman. He has it. He'll throw it on to first for the second out. Dexter being able to kind of get out of that jam, being down 3-0 in the count past Quintino. Now up for the Harbor Hawks. First pitch is in for a strike.
Yeah, they had something.
It's a ball low inside. It's the dirt, but stopped by the Kettleers catcher. Pitches outside. Two one count. Ball's low. One count. That's a strike. And their Pasquantino thought it was going to be ball 4. But shakes his head. He seems to be okay with it. Full count. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. After 4.5 innings, the score is 3-1 Hyannis. We'll be right back with the Kettleers at bats in the bottom of the 5th here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. Hi, everybody. I'm Hyannis Harbor Hawks broadcaster Lyle Goldstein here to bring you your Cape Cod Baseball League Around the League update. Outside of this 3-1 contest here in Cotuit, around the league, the Falmouth Commodores currently up 3-0 at Gov Fuller Field over the Wareham Gatemen, highlighted by a Logan Davidson double. In the top of the second, the Orleans Firebirds and the Bourne Braves scoreless over at Doran Park, and the other two games of the night between the YD Red Sox and the Harwich Mariners, along with the Brewster Whitecaps at the Chatham Anglers, have yet to start. YD kicking off shortly with the Anglers Whitecaps game kicking off at 7 p.m. over at Veterans Field. That'll do it for me here on this break. I'm your broadcaster, Lyle Goldstein, here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We'll be right back.
Welcome back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. I'm Chris Lucy, alongside Robert Marcello. We're going into the bottom of the 5th inning here from Cotuit, Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series between the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers, and Hyannis off to as good a start as they can be, mainly off the arm of right-hander Houston Roth, Robert, who has been excellent in his Cape debut.
He definitely has, being able to find the strike zone. He's been able to get ahead of guys. That's the reason why for success this evening.
Only 2 strikeouts have carried him into the bottom of the 5th inning. So he's been a guy that's pitched to contact and been able to keep hitters off balance that way as he heads into the 7, 8, and 9 hitters in this lineup. Andrew Smith from LIU Brooklyn, the senior, stepping up to the plate. Only his 2nd trip to the plate today, Robert, because Roth has been that dominant, and Smith is 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Usually you see guys the first time through the order, they smooth cleaving now. The second and third time through the order, we'll have to see if Roth can hold it up.
Well, a little conference on the mound breaks up just as this thing is getting started for the bottom of the 5th inning. Smith stepping up to the right-hand side of the plate against the right-hander Roth. Roth to the set and the first pitch. Swinging strike 1, 90 miles per hour right down the heart of the plate with the fastball. The right-hander out of the SEC firing him in. And now Smith back in, ready for the 0-1. Here it comes. Cut on and blipped foul down the third base line. That one rolls to Adam Oviedo in the on-deck circle for the Kettleers. 0-2 count. Roth again working quickly, off to a great start with his new battery mate, Kyle Wilkie. Here's the 0-2. Breaking pitch outside of the zone. Low and away. 1-2 the count. Roth is a 3-pitch guy, so fastball, changeup, slider. Looked like the changeup there just missed the zone, as now Roth comes back with the 1-2. There's that fastball, 92 miles per hour, but out of the zone and a little bit high. Evening the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. No one on, no one out. 3-1 is the score. Hyannis on top of the Kettleers, the 2-2. Swung on, hit into the gap down the left side, past the diving Trela and into left field for a base hit. Left fielder Lott picks it up, throws it into the infield, and on first with a single is Smith to get things started in the bottom of the 5th inning. Adam Oviedo coming up to the plate now. Sophomore out of TCU is 0 for 1 on the day, but comes up with a runner on first base, trying to cut into a 3-1 lead.
Hayden Kettler is back on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. He's in relief.
Oh, okay.
Because that's the day for Roth.
My apologies there, ladies and gentlemen. Still trying to get used to these new numbers. We'll have the numbers on Kettler coming for you in a second. And now Kettler comes to the set, the righty out of the Big 12, the 0-1. Cut on and blipped foul, that coming off of the chest protector of Wilkie. Kettler 6'2", 195, 16 games pitched. All of them starts, 8-4 record in 87 and a third innings pitched, 3.81 ERA, 56 strikeouts.
Very similar to Roth being able to get ahead of guys.
Absolutely. Had a little bit of trouble with the first batter on first base with a single. Throws back over to first. Pasquantino applies the tag, but the runner is safe. Smith over there with that leadoff single. 3-1 the score. Cotuit behind Hyannis. Here from Lowell Park, Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series. Hayden Kettler making his Hyannis Harbor Hawks debut. Throws back over to first base. Had a sub-2 ERA and 5 home runs his senior year of high school, did Kettler, but he's found his niche in college baseball as a pitcher and found his way to the Cape. Now Oviedo stands at the plate, 0-for-1 on the day. Righty on righty matchup, the 1-1. Cut on, hit on the ground over to short. Trela backhands, throws a second for one. On to first, a scoop, and it goes off of the glove of Pasquantino, and the runner Oviedo is safe. They get one, but Oviedo able to beat out the fielder's choice.
Trela there, great play at shortstop. Unable to get the pick over. At first was Pasquantino, but a very good effort.
No, absolutely, and Oviedo's speedy, so it would have been a tough play even if the throw had been right on the money. And good on Pasquantino for being able to at least block the off throw from Trela, who was trying to find his way around a sliding base runner. And now Zach Humphreys, the 9-hitter in the order, comes up to the plate for the Kettleers. Another quick throw back over to first. Kettler keeping the runner honest. Humphreys, another TCU product. 1-for-1 on the day with a single. Stands in the right-handed batter's box as the righty comes to the set and delivers. Fastball for a strike over the outer half of the plate. 0-1 the count. Top of the order due up after Humphreys. Anything on the ground would be a dream for Kettler as he's trying to maintain a 3-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks here in Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series. Here's that 0-1. Another off-speed pitch. That one a strike. Same place, but different speed had Humphreys fooled. And now the catcher is down 0-2. One man down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Overcast conditions here from Cotuit, but the rain forecasted to hold off. The 0-2 has to wait another second as Kettler throws over to first.
At the start of the game today, it felt the same way, but then in the middle innings, it started to lighten up, and now we have the clouds coming back in over Lowell Park.
A beautiful setting for baseball nonetheless. Lowell, one of the classiest parks in the entire Cape as Kettler throws back over to first. We had a funny exchange with the Kettleers broadcasters earlier when they were coming down for pronouncers. They kind of wryly looked at me when they came to Kettler's name on our roster sheet, and they're like, Kettleer? The 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Kettler, not Kettleer, sends a Kettleer down swinging. Humphreys now 1-for-2 on the day. Frontwards K. 2 men down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jonathan Robertson coming up. Hyannis still on top, 3-1. The righty Kettler squaring up. The lefty at the plate, Robertson. Sophomore out of Creighton as the runner takes the lead off first. The pitch. Fastball way outside. 1-0 the count. Robertson's 0-for-2, his 3rd trip to the plate right now. Contact both times, a grounder to second in the first and a fly out to right field in the 3rd. Now Kettler sets the 1-0. Another one hit on the ground. That one going up the middle and through for a base hit. Oviedo turns around second base. He's going for 3rd. He'll get in standing up as the ball just got to barefoot, rolling and dying in the grass in center field. He relays it in, and a single for Robertson puts runners on the corners and puts Kettler in a little bit of a sticky situation here in his Cape League debut.
Very important for Kettler to be able to get out of this inning still with a 3-1 lead.
Of paramount importance here to start the Patriot Series off with a win for the Harbor Hawks. They've lost 5 of the last Patriot Series with the Kettleers as now Peyton Burdick steps up to the plate. The junior out of Wright State, 1-for-2 on the day. Getting contact both times as well with a fly out to right field in the first and a single. And he came around to score the only run of the game so far for the Kettleers in the bottom of the 4th. Now Ron Polk emerges from the Harbor Hawks dugout to have a word. But Ron Polk, being the defensive guru out of all the Harbor Hawks coaches, is the man who won't really be having a word with Kedler, but will just be talking to the infield generally as well as Kedler to make sure that they have their defense set properly for this 2-out runners on the corner situation. And now the legendary coach from Mississippi State University exits the field of play, just coming over the first base line now, and all the Harbor Hawks return to their positions. Cal Wilkie, the new catcher for Hyannis, coming back behind the plate in that purple and orange Clemson baseball gear. Goes well with the blue and orange of the Harbor Hawks. Runners on the corners, 2 down here in the bottom of the 5th inning at Lowell Park. Hyannis holding on to a 3-1 lead. Kedler to the set. The pitch. Cut on and sent high in the air out to red center field. Barefoot coming over and making the play in the gap to possibly rob a base hit and save the Hyannis Harbor Hawks lead. It's frozen at 3-1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning as now Hyannis heads to the top of the 6th. The 5, 6, and 7 hitters due up for the Harbor Hawks as runners are stranded on the corners for the Kettleers here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 hits, 2 men left on base, no errors, and now Nick Durr, Todd Lott, and Kyle Wilkie due up in the top of the 6th inning for the Harbor Hawks, or Alec Trela, Trevor Hover, and Nick Durr due up for the Harbor Hawks, when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Robert Marcello, my broadcast partner. I'm Chris Lucy. Alec Trela due up to start things for the Harbor Hawks. He's the 5th hitter, the 6 and 7. Trevor Hover and Nick Durr also coming into this one for Hyannis as now Trela comes up to the right-hand side of the plate and takes a first pitch ball over the inner half. Jake Dexter still on the mound, the reliever out of Southern Maine. And the 1-0. Rides in on his hands again. Same place, 2-0 count. Trela, the shortstop, 0 for 2 on the day. The 2-0. Misses inside again. Count 3-0. The sidewinder on the mound. Starting just to have a little bit of trouble placing the ball. And the 3-0. A strike ripping across the outer half. A little get me over strike for Dexter. And he's back in the count. The 3-1. Ball 4, low and away, another fastball. And that is a walk for Trela, his first trip to the base paths today.
A leadoff walk is not a very good thing if you're a pitcher. It allows the other team to start getting going offensively.
Absolutely. And it looked like Dexter just was trying to work a little bit too fast there. He was just throwing the ball at a rapid pace as now Hover comes up to the left-hand side and takes strike 1 over the outer half. It was just bang, bang, bang coming off the mound as Trela with the free pass takes a lead off of first. Nobody down, 1 man on, 3-1 lead for Hyannis here in the top of the 6th. And the 0-1 comes over the outside corner, but low, the off-speed pitch, evening the count at a ball and a strike.
He definitely works very quickly, and he's a side armor.
Exactly, and that's deceptive as he throws over to first base, and the runner Trela slides back in safely. When you have someone working that quickly and also coming from an unorthodox arm angle, definitely hard to get a rhythm on him. As now here comes the 3-1 pitch. called strike over the outer half of the plate. That fastball whipping across the zone and hover in a 1-2 hole. He's 1 for 2 on the day, appropriately. Hit a home run in his previous plate appearance as the throw goes over to first base. Once again, tag applied, but Trela back in safely as Robertson and the righty have a word. Robertson, the first baseman. 1-2 count on Hover. Runner Trela taking the lead, and the 1-2 is hacked on and looped out into left center field for a base hit. A running start for Trela has him chugging around second base and getting the wave home from Gassman at third. Here's the play at the plate. The throw comes in behind Trela. He scores. Hyannis jumps out front 4-1 as standing on second base is Trevor Hover with an RBI double.
Great hit there by Hover, being able to shoot it out in the gap, being able to score that run for first. Now being up by three runs once again.
Big hit right there for Hover. He's had himself a game today, 1 for 2. 2 RBIs, batting himself in with that home run in the top half of the fourth, and then sending Trela home on that RBI double that has him leading off second base, and Nick Durr up to the right-hand side of the plate. Still looking for his first hit of the day. He's 0 for 2. The right-hander Dexter steps off the rubber to look back the runner Hover at second base. Infield at double play depth, looking for the play to the easiest base. The third baseman, Jones, however, creeping in on the lip of the grass. Here's the first pitch. Swing and a miss from Nick Durr at the off-speed pitch, low and away. The righty-righty matchup starts 0-1. Outfielders playing back to the powerful bat of Durr. Hit 6 home runs this year, the 0-1. Cut on and blipped foul behind home plate. Bounces off the backstop. 0-2 count. Overcast conditions here from Lowell Park. Thank you for joining us on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Hyannis on top 4-1. The 0-2. Breaking ball way outside and low. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 1-2. Cut on, hit on the ground, over to short. Oviedo gobbles it up, throws across the diamond. Hover stays put at second base. And there's the first out of the top of the 6th inning for the Kettleers.
Unable to move the guy over from second base to third base with the ground ball at shortstop is a big, big loss for the Harborhawks, but still with only 1 out, trying to get that runner in from home.
And with a hot hand stepping up to the plate, that's Todd Lott, 1 for 1 on the day. Steps up to the right-hand side, takes a first pitch strike, fastball over the outer half of the plate. 0-1 as the reliever Dexter still trying to get that groove back. Just let up an earned run earlier in this inning off the double to Hover. And he throws the 0-1 low and away. Off-speed pitch, missing the zone. 1-1 is the count. Lott had a home run in the top half of the 3rd inning and was hit by a pitch in his previous plate appearance. That coming in the top of the 4th. As the 1-1 is a swinging strike that he just got the tip of the bat on, but holding on is Humphreys from behind home plate. The catcher out of TCU doing his darndest to settle down the right-handers for the Kettleers today as the 1-2 misses way outside. Count 2-2. Hasn't been easy. They've been hit around a good deal, but he's been trustworthy behind the backstop, not letting anything get away from him.
Law with his first home run. It looked like it was going to be a line out really to right field, and this got over.
And the 2-2 is a line out right at the third baseman Jones. He backhand snares it from midair, throws over to second base, but Hover diving back safely. And an unlucky bounce right there, or lack thereof, a bounce for Lott, has 2 down here in the top of the 6th inning. And Kyle Wilkie, the catcher from Clemson, stepping up to the plate.
Lott, another hard hit ball. The second time today he's had a really hard hit ball.
And now Wilkie, 1 for 2 on the day with a single and a looking strikeout. Swings at the first pitch and sends it high and foul behind home plate. 0-1 the count at the fastball. Hyannis leading 4-1 here in the top of the 6th inning. Started this inning off with a walk, and then Trevor Hover, who stands on second base, hit a double that brought in that runner, the 0-1. Swung on, hit on the ground up the middle. Oviedo gobbles it up, moving to his right field's glove side, throws across the diamond, and makes the play, getting the speeding Wilkie for out number 3. So on 1 hit, 1 run scores, no errors. 1 man is left on base here in the top of the 6th inning, as now Hyannis heads to defend their 4-1 lead in the bottom half of the 6th. 2 up for the Kettleers, Zach Bierman, Thomas Dillard, and Eric Jones, the 3, 4, 5 heart of the order, coming up when we get back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stay tuned. We're back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Robert Marcello is my broadcast partner. I'm Chris Lucy. Hyannis leads 4-1 heading into the bottom of the 6th inning. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up for the Kettleers. Zachary Bierman, the man stepping up to the left-hand side of the plate against Hayden Kettler in for his 2nd inning of work. The righty out of Baylor getting ready to square up the left-handed DH out of Coastal Carolina. Here's the first pitch. Strike or ball, excuse me, that one way out of the zone and high. 1-0 the count. Kettler getting ready quick again. He's to the set, and here's the 1-0. There's a swinging strike, off-speed pitch on the outer half of the plate. 1-1 the count.
Kettler trying to make quick work in the bottom of the 6th. Trying to get 1, 2, 3, preserving that 3-run lead.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swinging strike again. 1-2 the count. Kettler, the righty out of Coppell, Texas, 6'2", 195 pounds. Fills out that frame nicely. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Tipped by the batter Bierman, but held on by Wilkie. And there's one away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And up to the plate comes a name that Harbor Hawks fans dread to hear. That's right, Thomas Dillard back up to the plate. Hasn't been much of a threat today, 0 for 2, but he steps up to the left-hand side, and Hyannis fans remember his power. The pitch. Ball 1, high and outside on the fastball. Righty-lefty matchup starting in favor of the left fielder today from Ole Miss. The 1-0. Cut on and served high in the air out towards right center field. This one is chasing barefoot back to the wall, and it goes off the base of the wall. Dillard chugging around first base will stop in standing at second with a double with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Robert, it looked like that one was about to leave the yard as well.
It sure did. It looked like it was going to be gone, but it just hit off the wall there, and it looked like the ball was going to come in, and I don't really think Dillard really noticed it, but he could have been thrown out at second base.
He's not the fleetest of foot, Dillard, but still famous for that game-tying home run against the Harbor Hawks last year that led to the 9-9 tie here at Lowell Park, called by darkness. He almost leaves the yard again, but instead settles for the double. He stands on second base with the 5-hitter Eric Jones out of Davidson stepping up to the dish. 0 for 2 on the day, but a chance to chip away at a 4-1 Harbor Hawks lead. Jones, one of 3 very talented catchers on roster for the Kettleers right now. 201 at-bats in his college season, 333 batting average, 60 RBIs as well. So someone the Harbor Hawks are not looking forward to seeing at the plate right now with the runner in scoring position, as we have some intrigue over on the right field line. It looks like someone from the Harbor Hawks roster, that is Nick Durr, the right fielder, is being removed from the game. Must have come up lame after he and Barefoot converged on the fly ball in right center field. A member of the Harbor Hawks training staff escorting him to the dugout now. Another right fielder coming into the game. That is Adam Elliott. That is the pitcher from last night's game. He's a two-way player, however. Pitched a little bit at Louisville last year. Also got himself a couple of at-bats. And now he comes into the game in right field. Thomas Dillard will have to watch out for that arm coming out of right, Robert, because we saw him get around the low to mid-90s yesterday.
He sure did, and he pitched in both games that we've called so far really this year, and he's done a really good job.
Absolutely. They handled their two-way guys pretty well down at Louisville. If you remember someone by the name of Brendan McKay several years ago playing for the Cardinals, excelling in the twin system, both throwing the ball and standing at home plate as well. Everybody's back in their places. 4-1 Hyannis leads here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Runner on second base, Eric Jones for Cotuit, trying to cut away at the Harbor Hawks lead. Here's the pitch. Ball 1 in the dirt, out of the hands of Kedler. The right-hander squaring up the righty at the plate. Jones, the senior out of Davidson College. He's a catcher himself, playing third today, but with a heck of an arm, threw out 19 runners for the Wildcats this year, playing in the ASUN Conference. Here's the 1-0. As the runner Dillard dances off of second base. He actually has a throw drawn back to him. Tag applied by Hauver, the second baseman, but he's called safe. I thought Keller was taking a little bit of time. He came to this. He came to the set. It almost looked like, but it looked like the hand, the glove, and ball didn't quite meet yet before he threw that one back. Stepped off the rubber to avoid the balk. As now Keller comes to the set for the 1-0. Runner on second base. Dillard still dancing off the bag. The 1-0. Called strike over the outer half.
It's definitely distracting for the pitcher as well to see the guy dancing over at the base. You feel like he's going to go, but then he doesn't.
Absolutely, but still, Kedler able to move that changeup over the outside corner of the plate around chest high. Dillard again striding off of second base, held on by Hauver. Kedler sets the 1-1 and has to turn all the way around on that pickoff attempt. He doesn't throw the ball, he just holds off. And he came to the set there, but avoided the balk because he didn't start moving towards the plate yet. He just was able to pivot around before he moved the ankle past his back leg, which would have triggered the balk and given Dillard third base for free. Now here's the 1-1. Breaking ball low and way outside. Count 2-1. Eric Jones at the plate, righty on righty matchup. Hyannis trying to maintain a 4-1 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning at Lowell Park. Overcast conditions, not a bit of wind in the ballpark right now. 2-1 count on today's third baseman. Over to the set, and he steps off the rubber once again. Hover, the second baseman, running over to try and keep Dillard honest, as the catcher and left fielder from Ole Miss. Once again, a thorn in the side of the Harbor Hawks. The 2-1. Called strike as a throw goes down. Wilkie trying to get Dillard at second. Tag applied, and it is safe. Dillard able to slide in right underneath that tag. And the 2-2 pitch almost turning into a strike and throw out. But Wilkie, he jumped up right after the pitch came in and was just a little bit late on trying to get Dillard.
Great job there by Pasquantino being able to get that ball so it didn't go past him.
Absolutely not. Yeah, the second baseman Hauber doing a really nice job out there, keeping Dillard honest and keeping him from really taking liberties down at second. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. A slider dipping out of the zone and away from the bat of Jones. He goes 0 for 3 on the day on that one. And that brings up Corey Joyce, the second baseman out of North Carolina Central University. The junior is 0 for 2 on the day, but comes up with Dillard still trying to distract the Harbor Hawks from second base after he worked that one-out double. Hauber holding him on. A right-hander at the dish, so naturally the second baseman on that left-handed batter's box side, the easiest throw for the catcher Wilkie to make. Kettler to the set, looks back the runner at second and deals. Strike over the outer half, changeup, just painting the black over the outer half of the plate. 0-1 count. Kettler's been able to change speeds quite nicely early on here. Only in his second inning of work on the day. Here's the 0-1. Fastball in on the hands. A little bit too inside. 1-1 the count. That one coming around belt level. Infielders at their normal positions. Outfield shaded a little bit over to the left. Todd Lott playing more in the gap of right center field. The 1-1. Called strike over the outer half. Another off-speed offering. 1-2. And the Harbor Hawks are a strike away from getting out of a bit of a jam here in the bottom of the sixth inning. A runner on second base. Kettler on the mound trying to send down the Kettleers. Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. The changeup over the heart of the plate. Dips away from the bat of Corey Joyce. And after a one-out double, the pitcher, Kettler, is able to draw 2 strikeouts and only face 4 batters here in the bottom of the sixth inning. 1 hit, 1 man left on base, no runs scored, no errors, and now we head to the top of the 7th inning. Top of the order due up for the Harbor Hawks, Matthew Barefoot, Davis Wenzel, and Pedro Pages, 1, 2, and 3 when we get back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back here from Lowell Park. Thank you for joining me. Chris Lucy bringing you all the action here in Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series. Dexter, the right-hander out of Southern Maine University, Jake Dexter, that is, coming in for his 3rd inning of work in relief of Griffin McClarty. Starter in 4 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 1 more earned run coming off the hand of Dexter here today. Has Hyannis out front 4-1 in the top of the 7th inning. Top of the order due up for the Harbor Hawks, Matthew Barefoot, Davis Wenzel, and Pedro Pages. Barefoot at the right-hand side of the plate now against the righty. Here's the pitch. High and outside, the fastball. 1-0 the count. Barefoot, 1 for 3 on the day with a double and a pair of strikeouts. The 1-0. High and inside, and that one just catching the elbow protector of Barefoot. To start things off here in the 7th, he'll get a free trip to first base on the hit by pitch. Brings up Davis Wenzel. The third baseman from Baylor also 1 for 3 on the day. Hit a double in his first Cape League at bat. Has a nice connection to the Harbor Hawks pitcher, Hayden Kedler. Not only are they teammates at Baylor, but they do pretty much everything together as they drove out here together all the way from Baylor. Here's the first pitch. High and outside. Count 1-0. Runner on first base. Nobody down here in the top of the 7th inning. Davis Wenzel at the plate against Jake Dexter, trying to build on a 4-1 lead for the Harbor Hawks. Dexter to the set. The sidewinder kicks and deals the 1-0, but actually just pivots around as he almost moves towards the plate and throws over to first. That holds the runner barefoot honest. And that is Ryan Leffner on the mound. Excuse me, Dexter is out. It looked like a 26 there on the mound, but I'll need to get my glasses back on as now in that 1 inning of work. That was 1 earned run for Dexter as now Leffner comes to the set and deals the 1-1. Strike over the outer half of the plate. Wenzel down in a 1-2 hole. Runner takes a lead off of first base. Leffner out of St. Louis from San Clemente, California. St. Louis is college. His first appearance on the Cape League season. Deals ball 2 high and outside. 2-2 the count. Runner taking the lead off of first base. Hyannis out front 4-1. Davis Wenzel looking for his second hit of the day. The 2-2. High and outside again on the fastball. Count loaded up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Wenzel said he and Kedler didn't really listen to all that much music on their ride out. They were more concerned with listening to the Super Regionals coverage. Leffner throws back over to first base. Tag applied, but Barefoot gets in underneath it. 3 balls, 2 strike count. Also watched a couple of TV shows as well on that ride up. Hopefully whoever was driving at the time was just listening. The payoff pitch. Cut on and nibbled foul down the third base line. The catcher Humphreys comes out in hot pursuit. He gives the ball back to the umpire, who looks it over once or twice and pockets the thing. Probably not fit at this point for another rendezvous. And now here comes the 3-2 from Leffner after a throw over to first base. No tag applied by Robertson. Leffner comes up to the set. Runner on first base, the 3-2 pitch. That's called strike 3. Throw down as the runner goes, but that is safe for Barefoot. He's able to steal a base as Wenzel goes down looking for out number 1. But with 1 man down, Pedro Pages comes up to the plate with a runner in scoring position and a chance to build on a 3-run lead for the Harbor Hawks here in the top of the 7th inning. 4-1 in favor of Hyannis from Lowell Park. Thank you for joining us here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. And it's a special day here in Lowell Park. It's Red Shirt Friday. Red Shirt Fridays is a national program created to acknowledge, honor, and support our troops who put themselves in harm's way to defend our freedom. In support of this program, the Cape League teams will be wearing a specially designed red jersey every Friday. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 1 to Pedro Pages on the changeup that just dipped way out of the zone over that outside corner. This is a special weekly celebration of Red Shirt Fridays. It's sponsored by 47 brand, HP Hood, Cape Cod Regional Transit Authority, Advanced Embroidery, and the Cape League. Here's the 0-1. Fastball called strike over the outer half, just at knee level. Pedro Pages down 0-2. Barefoot's the runner on second base. He stole that bag after getting hit by a pitch to lead things off here in the top of the 7th inning. The 1 out on the scoreboard, courtesy of Davis Wenzel's looking strikeout. Barefoot takes a 3-step lead off of second base, held on loosely by Joyce, the second baseman. The 0-2. High and outside, count 1-2. The third baseman, Jones, is playing in, where the first baseman, Robertson, is playing almost on the back, close to the outfield grass. The 1-2. Caught on and blipped foul down the first base line. Vinny Pasquantino's in the on-deck circle. He comes out to gather the foul ball. Pages stays alive. 1-2 the count here in the top of the 7th inning. One man down at Lowell Park. Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series being contested between the Harbor Hawks and the Cotuit Kettleers. The 1-2. Low and away. Ball 2. Pedro Pages with a good eye. Ryan Leffner struggling to retire, the right-handed batter out of Florida Atlantic University. Went to Gulliver Prep just outside of Miami in Florida, but grew up a Red Sox fan nonetheless, did Pages. The 2-2. Cut on and sent foul behind home plate. Count remains 2-2. Pages, one of 2 ball players on the Harbor Hawks, coming out of Florida Atlantic University. His teammate, center fielder Eric Rivera, joining him. Florida Atlantic qualified for a regional this year, winning the CUSA championship against Rice University, where their Harbor Hawks teammate Braden Como plays baseball. They won that one in a walk-off. Eric Rivera scoring the winning run. Leffner steps off the rubber to check back the runner Barefoot, who reached on that hit by a pitch, and then stole to get his way to second base. Now Pages gets back in the batter's box, and the righty kicks in, deals to the righty. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Pages just missing the fastball. Whispers a little something to Vinny Pasquantino as he heads back to the dugout, unhappy, and Pages drops down to 0 for 3 on the game, and Pasquantino comes back up to the plate. Quality at bat right there for Pages. Saw his fair share of pitches there and made Leffner work as Pasquantino steps up to the left-hand side of the dish, and stepping up is Humphreys. They're going to give Pasquantino the intentional pass. Pasquantino with a sac fly, a fly out, and a strikeout in this game. As the pitches way out of the zone continue to pour in. 3-0 the count now. And now here comes ball 4. The automatic intentional walk that is legal in Major League Baseball, not coming to the Cape, as everybody out here in the Cape League has done things the same way for quite some time. Not overly resistant to change, but still, some things are just meant to stay the same. The game of baseball, a game that is known to be change about as much as the comparison escapes me, but you get the idea. Alec Trela up to the plate right now. 0 for 2 with a walk. And the 0-1 just misses low and away. They check down the first base line to see if he went around or not, and the first base umpire calls that he did, so that is an 0-2 count on Trela as he tries to keep the rally alive for the Harbor Hawks. Runners on first and second, 2 down, 4-1 Hyannis, trying to extend that 3-run lead. The 0-2 in the dirt, low and away. Slider trying to waste one there. Brings the count to 1-2. Trela came around to score one of 4 Hyannis runs off the RBI double from Trevor Hauver in the top of the 6th inning. The 1-2. Runner goes at second, and the ball is cut on and looped over towards third base. The third baseman, Jones, charging into the infield grass, fielding glove side, throwing across the diamond, and getting the speeding Trela for out number 3. So the pitcher, Leffner, works himself into a jam here to start off his evening in the top of the 7th inning, but is able to work himself out of it. No hits, 1 hit batter, 2 strikeouts, 2 men left on base, and now we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Andrew Smith, Adam Oviedo, and Zach Humphreys, the 7, 8, and 9 hitters, due up for the Cavaliers when we return on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back here from Lowell Park on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Chris Lucy. Hyannis on top 4-1 as we head into the bottom half of the 7th. Andrew Smith, Adam Oviedo, and Zach Humphreys due up for the Cavaliers. Hayden Kedler still on the mound for the Harbor Hawks, much to the chagrin of the Cotuit Cavalier broadcasters, as we have a pinch hitter to report actually stepping up to the plate right now. That is number 19, Bo Brundage, stepping up to the dish out of Portland, Oregon. He plays for the University of Portland. Steps in the left-handed batter's box against the right-handed Kedler, who comes to the set and deals. High and outside, 1-0 the count. 2 games so far on the season for Brundage. Has yet to record a hit. The 1-0. Cut on and looped high and foul down the left field line. Ball flying out of play. Brundage coming off of a spectacular season for the University of Portland. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Cut on and sent high in the air down the third base line. The catcher Wilkie comes out from behind home plate, rips off the mask, and gloves the ball for out number 1. As the .378 hitter on the 2018 season for the University of Portland goes down for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Adam Oviedo stepping up to the right-hand side of the plate now. 1 down, Hyannis out front 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Hayden Kedler still on the mound. First pitch is a swinging strike on the fastball. The sophomore from TCU, 0 for 2 on the day, gets himself down in an 0-1 hole. Oviedo was all Big 12 honorable mention this year. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2 at the curveball. 0-2 the count. Plenty of hype around Oviedo coming into his career at TCU. He was a 35th round draft pick out of high school by the Minnesota Twins in 2017. As now Kedler comes to the set, the 0-2. Curveball bounces in front of Wilkie, gets away from him, squirts behind home plate, brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. These two Big 12 foes, not unused to each other. Baylor and TCU both playing in the Big 12 down in Texas. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 gets tipped off the bat of Oviedo, but into the glove of Wilkie, who holds on and brings us to 1 out away from the top of the 8th inning. Wilkie, a reliable backstop early on for the Harbor Hawks. Something that Coach Gassman was expecting. Was able to watch Wilkie a little bit on TV this year as Clemson not only made a regional, but hosted it. Unfortunately for the Tigers, they were ousted in that regional, unable to make a super for the 2nd year in a row. A pinch hitter is coming into the game for Zach Humphreys as well. Mike Roberts trying to switch things up for the Kettleers. That pinch hitter is Keaton Wise, the junior out of Coastal Carolina. He steps up to the right-handed batter's box with nobody on and 2 men down. Hyannis out front 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th. The pitch, low and away, 1-0. Wise transferred to Coastal Carolina after a season at Auburn, the 1-0. Caught on, sent high and foul down the first base line, out of play. Played in 51 games after sitting out 2017 per NCAA transfer rules, and hit .238 in 181 at-bats. Hit 3 home runs and 11 doubles as well, so some power potential for the right-handed hitter out of Coastal Carolina. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and sent high in the air towards the right center field gap. The right fielder comes on and makes the play. That is Adam Elliott, the right fielder. And that is out number 3 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. No hits, no one left on base, no runs, and now we head to the top of the 8th inning. Trevor Hauver and the 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up for Hyannis when we get back. You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Stay tuned. We're back here on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Thank you for tuning in. Robert Marcello rejoins me, Chris Lucy in the broadcast booth, and a new pitcher coming into the game for the Kettleers, down 4-1 as we stand here in the top of the 8th inning. It's Matthew Gauthier, the junior out of North Carolina State University and Candiac, Quebec, standing at 6'2", 170. And he deals a first pitch strike over the outer half of the plate to Trevor Hauber. 0-1 the count. Righty on the mound, and Hauber at the plate, standing at the left-hand side. The 0-1. Hops in the dirt in front of home plate. That's ball one. Hauber, 2 for 3 on the day. Has a home run and a double. He's driven in 2 runs. That home run, a solo job in the 4th inning, helping bring the Harborhawks to where they stand 4-1 on top of the Kettleers. The 1-1. Pitch in the dirt, check swing. Home plate umpire says Hauber went around. 1-2 count. The righty out of Quebec getting things off to a good start on his Cape League season. And now the 1-2. Another one in the dirt. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Great stop by the Kettleers catcher. Not allowing that to go past him.
Humphreys has been doing an excellent job behind the plate earlier today, but that is a new catcher in there now as the pitch is cut on and sent on the ground over to third base. Jones gobbles it up, throws across the diamond to get out number 1 here in the top of the 8th inning. Hauber retired for the first time since the 2nd inning. Drop him down to 2 for 4 on the day. Adam Elliott stepping up to the plate. He came in as a defensive replacement for Nick Durr, who pulled up lame earlier in this game, chasing something down in right field as the first pitch to Elliott comes in as a strike right over the heart of the plate from Gauthier. The 0-1. Low and away. 1-1 the count on the off-speed pitch. Gauthier appeared in 17 games for the NC State Wolfpack this year. 4.01 ERA. 34 strikeouts in 42 2/3 innings. As the 1-1 bounces in at the feet of Elliott, his ACC counterpart. Standing at the left-hand side of the plate against the righty. Ball 2. Infield at normal depth. Outfield playing straight. The 2-1. Swing and a miss at the fastball over the outer half. 2-2 the count as the sun starts to come out late here in Cotuit. Game got off to a 5 o'clock start at Lowell Park. Here's the 2-2. Cut on and roped right at the shortstop Oviedo, who backhands it on the fly for out number 2.
A great piece there by Elliott, unable to get it past the shortstop for the first or the second out of the inning.
It was about as much as you'd want on a baseball right there. It was tailing a little bit, but Oviedo just in the right place at the right time, able to pick it out of midair and bring Todd Lott up to the plate with nobody on, 2 men down in the top of the 8th inning. 4-1 Hyannis, righty-righty matchup. Starts with a ball in the dirt in the opposite batter's box for ball 1. Lott's 1 for 2 today with a home run and a fly out to third. Here's the 1-0. Ball 2. That one again in the other batter's box. Off-speed pitch. Likely a changeup missing there. 2-0 the count. Lott stepping up to the plate. The pitch. Cut on. Sent high in the air out towards right center field. This one is chasing Smith and Burdick back to the wall. And the right fielder Burdick calls off Smith. Makes the play in the right center field gap for out number 3. 3 up and 3 down for Gauthier here in the top of the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. And now we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order due up for the Kettleers. Jonathan Robertson, Peyton Burdick, and Zachary Bierman due up when we return here on the Hyannis Harborhawks Digital Network. Stay tuned. back here at Lowell Park for the bottom of the 8th inning. Top of the order due up for the Cotuit Kettleers, down 4-1 here. I'm Chris Lucy, Robert Marcello over to my right. Jonathan Robertson stepping up to the left-hand side of the plate against Kettler. Hayden Kettler coming out for his 4th inning of work. It even has me tripping up too, Robert.
It definitely does. It's a very similar name.
He throws a first pitch strike to Robertson. 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the 0-1. Fastball missing way outside. 1-1 the count. Righty on the mound, lefty at the plate. Infield and outfield playing straight away. Kettler to the set. Looks in at his catcher Wilkie and deals. Pitch that is cut on and roped down the right field line. This one is chasing Elliott to the wall, and the right fielder gets the ball right on the track and makes the play for out number 1. And that one was tattooed down the line, Robert. It looked like that had about as good a chance of leaving the yard as either of the 2 home runs we've seen the Harbor Hawks hit today.
Definitely did. Is coming off the bat, looked like it was going to be gone, but the right fielder goes out, makes a great catch.
Adam Elliott making his impact both on the mound and in the outfield for the Harbor Hawks this season. He's a two-way guy for Louisville and the Harbor Hawks as well. As here's the pitch to Peyton Burdick. Has a called strike over the outer half of the plate. The junior from Wright State standing at the right-hand side of the plate against Hayden Kettler. The 0-1. Swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch over the outer half. 0-2 the count. Burdick with a single in the 4th inning. It's 1 for 3 with a pair of flyouts. Comes up with 1 man down and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Make that 2 down. And still the bases are clear. Kettler is in the zone, and he's an out away from sending this thing to the 9th inning. But
Great
first
job
he'll
by
have to
Kettler.
get through Zachary Bierman.
Great job there by Kettler, being able to get 2 quick outs in this inning. Only has to get 1 more and get to the 9th.
The man standing between him and the 9th inning is Zachary Bierman, as I mentioned, 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the 4th. The product from Coastal Carolina stands at the left-hand side. The righty deals. A ball high and outside. 1-0 the count, coming in at 76 miles per hour. Changeup. And now the righty from Baylor comes to the set. He peers in at his catcher and fires. Pitch that is cut on in on the hands and sent over to shortstop on the ground. Trela moves over to his right, makes the play, throws over to first, and gets the final out of the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Kettleers in the bottom half of the 8th inning. No hits, nobody left on base. We head to the top of the 9th. Kyle Wilkie, Matthew Barefoot, and Davis Wenzel due up for the Harbor Hawks. The bottom and top of the Hyannis order due up when we get back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. We're back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. I'm Chris Lucy. Robert Marcello is over to my right. And for the top of the 9th, the Kettleers bring in a right-hander out of Rice University. That is Garrett Gale. 22 appearances on the 2018 season for the Owls. 2-2 record, 4.54 ERA, 41 2/3 innings pitched, 54 strikeouts to boast as well. And he comes in relief of Gautier, who came in and in one inning recorded no strikeouts, but recorded 3 outs via contact. The throw goes down, and everything is set from Cotuit. Kyle Wilkie stepping up to the plate for the top of the 9th inning. Harbor Hawks out front 4-1 over the Kettleers from Lowell Park as the sun peeks out from beyond the clouds, and things have really opened up as the setting is about as beautiful as it could be. Overcast almost the entire day today, but now over the outfield, the sky is completely blue with tufts of clouds here and there, but the sun shining down over the top of the tree line, and a picturesque day for baseball as the righty-righty matchup starts off. The pitch, swing and a miss, strike one at a 94-mile-per-hour heater off the hand of Gale.
The Harbor Hawks here trying to widen their lead more as they're trying to get this leadoff guy on.
It's 4-1. The 0-1. 96 on the gun for strike 2 over the outer half of the plate. Painting the black with that fastball and pumping up the velocity while he's at it. Garrett Gale on the mound, fresh into this one for the Kettleers, trying to battle back from a 4-1 deficit from Lowell Park. The 0-2. Cut on and flipped foul behind home plate. That one gets over the backstop, out of play. Count remains 0-2 on Wilkie. 1 for 3 on the day, the catcher out of Clemson, with a single in his first Cape League at bat. Now here's the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3 at a changeup at 76 miles per hour. Dropping that almost 20 miles per hour from the previous fastball. Gale changing speeds, pumping up the velocity, and getting out number 1 from Lowell Park here in the top of the 9th inning.
Wilkie unable to really get on, trying to widen this lead for them as 3 runs could be enough, but trying to widen it even more.
Matthew Barefoot fouls off the first pitch down the right field line. 0-1 the count on the senior out of Campbell University. He's 1 for 3 with a double. Also was hit by a pitch and stole a base in the 7th inning. Now here's the 0-1. Another one chopped on and sent foul behind home. 0-2 the count. Barefoot was second team All-Atlantic region playing for Campbell in the SoCon Conference this season. He won the SoCon batting title with a .364 clip. As the 0-2 bounces as he swings for strike 3, the catcher has to come out from behind home plate to throw down to first. He does, and retires Barefoot for out number 1. That's Eric Jones, who's come in to catch. He comes in relief of Zach Humphreys, who was pinch hit for earlier in this game. So 2 down, courtesy of the fireballing Garrett Gale, who's come into this game and served as a buzzsaw for the Kettleers. As Eric Jones calls timeout from behind home plate, making sure he doesn't get crossed up with the heat that's going to be coming off the hand of Gale. Davis Wenzel sitting at the right-hand side of the plate. Watches ball 1 fly in low and away over the outer half of the plate. 1-0 the count on the 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Infield and outfield straight away, the 1-0. Cut on, sent high into the evening sky down the right field line. Second baseman Joyce and the first baseman Robertson converging on the ball. But the second baseman Joyce calls off Robertson, makes the catch, and the side goes down 1-2-3 for Garrett Gale in his Cape League debut, and brings this game to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last licks coming up for the Cotuit Kettleers, and they have the best part of the lineup up to try and cut into a 4-1 Harbor Hawks lead. The 4, 5, 6 heart of the order, Thomas Dillard, Eric Jones, and Corey Joyce, due up when we get back here on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. Welcome back on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network. I'm Chris Lucy, Robert Marcello over to my right. The 2018 Cape League All-Star Game will be played at White House Field, home of the Harwich Mariners. Mark the date on your calendar, Sunday, July 22nd. Game time is 6 p.m., but the gates open at 2 p.m. One highlight will be the Cumberland Farms home run hitting contest. There will also be an autograph session and a large merchandise village with many items from many of the teams. Be sure to buy your tickets now right here at the merchandise stand. Tickets are just $5, and part of the proceeds will support the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as the Hawks head into the bottom of the 9th inning, holding on to a 4-1 lead here from Lowell Park in Cotuit. Game 1 of the Patriot Cup Series on the line with a new face into the game for the Harbor Hawks. It's Gavin Hollowell. 6'7", 205, the junior coming out of St. John's, 3-0 in 25 appearances, a 2.16 ERA for the Johnnies. He steps up against Thomas Dillard, righty-lefty matchup. The pitch. Fastball way outside at 94 miles per hour. 1-0 the count. 6'7", Gavin Hollowell coming in off the mound. The 1-0. Called strike, another 94 mile per hour heater. High and away. 1-1 the count. Infield, outfield, straight away. Clear skies from Lowell Park. The 1-1. Cut on and nubbed over to Davis Wenzel at third base. He charges in, double clutches, throws across the diamond in time to get the speeding Dillard for out number 1 here in the top of the 9th.
Good job there by Wenzel. At first, thought he had the ball, had to pump fake it to make sure he clearly had a grip on it, but also both relievers in this inning are throwing absolute gas in the mid-90s.
We've seen the radar gun light up in this inning more so than we've seen for the entirety of the season. Garrett Gale coming in for the Cavaliers in the previous inning hit 96, and we've seen Hollowell hit 94 twice, and now hit 98 miles per hour on that offering to Eric Jones. The first pitch of that one, first pitch of that at bat, riding in on his hands for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Called strike 1, 96 miles per hour. Up and in. 1-1 the count. 1 man down in the bottom of the 9th inning. Hyannis out front 4-1, trying to pull away with a win in game 1 of the Patriot Series. The 1-1. Strike 2, 81 miles per hour on the changeup over the outer half of the plate. 1-2 the count. Eric Jones 0 for 3 on the day. Already has a golden sombrero. The 1-2. Low and away, 85 miles per hour on the slider. 2-2 the count. That one drifting into the opposite batter's box. Righty on righty matchup right now. Hyannis trying to come away with its second win of the year, the 2-2. Cut on, serve foul down the third base line. That one dribbles into the Cavaliers dugout. Hollowell in his first appearance on the Cape, impressing as the scouts set up their radar guns from behind home plate. Comes to the set, the 2-2. 94 miles per hour, but out of the zone. Loads up the count, 3 balls and 2 strikes on the fastball. That was chest high, but off the plate. Hollowell to the set, the 3-2. Ball 4. The 6'7" right-hander puts the second batter of the inning on base with 1 down here in the bottom of the 9th. Sends up a pinch hitter for the Cavaliers. That's number 2. Corey Wood out of Coastal Carolina stepping into this game. Stepping up to the left-hand side of the plate. No hits in 4 at-bats on the Cape League season so far for the A-Sun product out of Coastal Carolina. Hit 223 or hit 296 in 223 at-bats for Coastal Carolina this year as ball 1 comes in low and inside from the righty Hollowell to the lefty standing at the plate. Wood wearing number 2. Same number as Hollowell's favorite player, Derek Jeter. Here's the 1-0. Called strike over the outside corner. 1-1 with the fastball, 92 miles per hour. Runner on first base is Jones. He worked a walk, full count walk at that, making Hollowell earn it in his Cape League debut. One down in the bottom of the ninth as the 1-1 pitch comes in high and tight to the left-handed hitting Wood. Ball 2. Four to 1, Hyannis leads, trying to lock down a win in the first game of the Patriot Cup Series as the 2-1 is hit on the ground over to Hollowell. He throws to second for 1. The throw onto first gets the game-ending double play and locks up a 4-1 win for Hyannis in Game 1 of the Barnstable Patriot Cup Series. Well, Robert, Hollowell had his head on a swivel for that one as he heard contact off the bat, looked away briefly, and then had the ball just right up in his face, and he's able to make the play. A very bang play for Hollowell in just his Cape League debut.
A great play by Hollowell there. And the first thing you think about is when there's a chance for a double play, especially for the pitcher having to field the ball, is can he clearly throw to second base, and he sure did in a great throw. And I know the scouts definitely took notice of that sitting where Nick does.
Absolutely. As I mentioned during the inning, plenty of radar guns coming up at the end of every single pitch, at the beginning of every single pitch for Hollowell, as he was just absolutely pumping in the gas. 98 miles per hour on the gun. Robert, that's amongst the fastest I think we're going to see on the Cape all summer long, and we're only in Game 3.
More than likely, that is probably the fastest we are going to see, Chris. You know, when you can get into the mid-90s or higher, the scouts do take notice of that. And as you said, the radar guns definitely were up when he was pitching, as they were expecting that. As this is probably not the first time these guys have seen him before.
Absolutely not. We had plenty of them murmuring about him as well,
yes,
hearing about the big 6'7" right-hander out of St. John's, and we saw right there why he logged 34 strikeouts in 33 1/3 innings pitched for the Johnnies this year in the Big East, and he's making his presence known on the island. Rumors of that 98 mile per hour fastball will likely be reverberating throughout the league tonight as the rest of the league is in action after this game, which got off to a 5 o'clock start here from Lowell Park and ended in about 2.5 hours. So a very quick affair between the Harbor Hawks and Kettleers, but 4-1, the final score in favor of Hyannis here in the unfriendly confines of Lowell Park, the rival ballpark of the two Barnstable foes, at least in Hyannis' case. We're going to take a quick break now on the broadcast, but coming up, Lyle Goldstein will host our post-game coverage. I'll stay on with him, chat a little bit about the game here, and we'll have some interviews from Coach Gassman and possibly the man Galvin Hollowell himself. We'll see how it shakes out. Stick around with us here. You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks Digital Network.
Hello and welcome back into Lowell Park, back here on the broadcast. I'm your host of the postgame show, Lyle Goldstein. We just wrapped up here with the Hyannis Harbor Hawks taking win number 2 on the season, defeating the Cotuit Kettleers by a final score of 4-1. Hyannis moves to 2-1 on the year, while the Kettleers drop to 1-2. Joined alongside me, my broadcast partner, Chris Lucy, who called the second half of this game. And Chris, let's start off with the starting pitcher for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks tonight. And Houston Roth made his Cape Cod League debut, 4 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and he really did a good job keeping these Kettleers bats, who have been hot as of late, off balance tonight.
No, absolutely. I mean, you look at Peyton Burdick out there. He hit 3 home runs in his first Cape League game and only managed 1 hit against Houston Roth in his 4 innings of work. And it wasn't even as if Houston Roth really needed to get strikeouts to get outs, which is important because against hitters like this out in the Cape, they're going to make you fight for strikeouts with disciplined batting eyes and also pretty good contact skills. So if Roth could force contact as he did today all season long and get outs that way, that's going to be a very efficient way for him to get work done for the Harbor Hawks and eat innings, because as a starter, if you can eat up innings and take the pressure off of the bullpen in the Cape League, that helps everybody out with managing their innings limits and keeping a team successful throughout the long grind of a 44-game season.
Absolutely. A nice outing turned in tonight from Houston Roth, the Ole Miss product. Now let's get to the bullpen. First starting off, reliever Hayden Kettler throwing 4 innings of his own. The man actually picks up the win tonight, giving up 3 hits, no runs, striking out 6. A near dominant performance from the Baylor product. And then, my goodness, Gavin Hollowell coming in the 9th to slam the door, notching his first save of the season. You talked about it on the call, Chris, touching 98 miles an hour.
Getting about as close to 100 as we're probably going to see anybody get on the Cape all season long. We'll have to keep our eye on Hollowell to see if he can touch triple digits himself. But absolutely. And we were talking on the last broadcast how it looked like Dylan Thomas was going to be able to get that 1-2 punch and be the closer. But the Hawaii product now with some competition at the back end of that bullpen, or at the very least, a bit of variety at the back end for Chad Gassman.
If anything, it's just another shot in the arm for this Harbor Hawks bullpen. Thomas, Elliott, and now Hollowell at the back end of that bullpen. They're looking good here early on in the early going.
Absolutely. And you saw Elliott get out in the outfield as well, the two-way product from Louisville, playing the Brendan McKay type role for the Harbor Hawks this season, but really did make his presence known more from the mound in the Harbor Hawks' previous win against the Harwich Mariners.
He replaced Nick Durr in right field this evening. Now switching over to the offense, talking about Elliott's time in right field as well as at the plate. He went 0 for 1 on the night, but the rest of the offense, Chris, really got it going tonight. 6 hits, but a pair of home runs, one off the bat of second baseman Trevor Hauver, the other one, an opposite field home run for left fielder Todd Lott.
That's right. Pop that collar there, Lyle. I see you with your Sun Devils sweatshirt on right now. Trevor Hauver out of ASU doing you proud, the sophomore, with that big home run. And then also Todd Lott actually hit his home run before, but still exactly what you want to see out of those two guys. Lott at 6'4", over 220 pounds, putting a little bit of muscle into that baseball and sending 1 yard. That's what you want to see out of a guy with that kind of size. If you're a scout, some power potential, because that is what is going to help you get noticed and possibly drafted if you're looking at it from Lott's perspective.
Hyannis, of course, dropped the first game to Falmouth on Tuesday night by a score of 10-4. The last 2 games, the command of pitches from all the staff has been much sharper. The offense has been clicking on all cylinders. They've won their last 2, as I mentioned. But tomorrow night, they head out to Veterans Field in Chatham, Massachusetts, to go up against a loaded Angler squad. Plain and simple, Chris, what's going to be the key tomorrow?
The key is just going to be continued confidence from the Harbor Hawks, because they know that they have guys on the mound who can pepper the strike zone, but still keep hitters off balance with some nasty breaking stuff, as well as just some might on the radar guns, as well as we've seen several guys get into the mid to upper 90s on the Harbor Hawks pitching staff so far today and throughout the season as well. So Hyannis needs to know that they have the skills to go toe-to-toe with Chatham tomorrow.
Chris Lucy, thanks so much for joining me here on the post-game show. We'll be back right after this with interviews and a whole lot more on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Stay tuned. welcome back into the post-game show. And welcome back into the post-game show. I'm your host, Lyle Goldstein. Are you at or nearing retirement? Then listen to the Ready, Set, Retire radio show Saturdays at 6 p.m. on WXTK 95.1 FM with host Steve Anzuoni. More details at fairwayfinancial.net. Back here at Lowell Park, where the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, as we mentioned, take a 4-1 win over the Cotuit Kettleers in the Patriot Cup. Hyannis moving to 2-1 on the year. Houston Roth, the starting pitcher for the Harbor Hawks tonight, going 4 innings, letting up 1 earned run on 3 hits. The winning pitcher in Hayden Kettler, going 4 innings, giving up 3 hits, no earned runs, striking out 6. And Gavin Hollowell notching the save. Griffin McClarty, the starter for the Cotuit Kettleers, who is no stranger to the limelight. Didn't get a chance to talk about it in the pregame show, but McClarty, a Little League World Series phenom back when he was a 12-year-old. Out in Williamsport, he played for Team Kentucky in the Little League World Series, and in that opening night, he played a team out of Lock Haven, Pennsylvania, where about 45,000 fans roughly showed up for that one. McClarty was on the mound through a 6-inning shutout and also hit a solo home run as Kentucky downed the Pennsylvania team 1-0. That was back years ago. Just a little fun story for you. But he got the start tonight out in Cape Cod for the Cotuit Kettleers, going 4 innings, letting up 3 earned runs on 5 hits, 1 walk, and striking out 5. It was scoreless through the first 2 frames until Hyannis broke it open in the 3rd inning, thanks to a home run from Todd Lott, and along with a Kyle Wilkie RBI single, a Kyle Wilkie single who would then later score on an RBI double off the bat of Matthew Barefoot. That made it 2-0 after 2.5 innings. Hyannis and Cotuit would each add a run of their own in the 4th. Hyannis doing so on a Trevor Hoover solo home run. That made the score 3-1. Then the Harbor Hawks tacking on an extra run in the 6th, thanks to an RBI double from Trevor Hoover. Hoover, almost undoubtedly the offensive player of the game in part of the Harbor Hawks. And Gavin Hollowell, as we mentioned, picked up his first save due to a 4-1 win in favor of Hyannis, a 3-run lead, and he slammed the door in the 9th inning. The final lines here for both teams at Lowell Park and Cotuit. Hyannis scores 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors, left 6 on base. Cotuit scoring just 1 run on 6 hits, 1 error on a throwing error from the starting pitcher in Griffin McClarty, and they left 4 on base. Hayden Kettler, the winning pitcher tonight for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, moving to 1-0 on the year. Griffin McClarty taking the loss for the Cotuit Kettleers, moving to 0-1, and as we mentioned, Gavin Hollowell picking up his first save of the summer. We'll be back right after this on the post-game show with interviews from head coach Chad Gassman and much more. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks post-game show on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks digital network. Back inside Lowell Park in Cotuit, Massachusetts, where the Hyannis Harbor Hawks take down the Cotuit Kettleers by a final score of 4-1. Cotuit, as we mentioned, suffers their second loss of the season. They lost to Wareham 4-2. That was back last night. They got 4 scoreless innings from Wareham, that is. Mason Fiol out of UConn. Zane Collins got the start out of Wright State for Cotuit. But the Kettleers did win their opener by a score of 10-1, highlighted by 3 long balls from outfielder Peyton Burdick out of Wright State. He, of course, was held to just 1 hit in today's game. Meanwhile, Hyannis dropped their opener 10-4 at the hands of the Falmouth Commodores. Came back and took game 2 at McKeon Park 5-3 over the Harwich Mariners. And today, win it 4-1 over the Kettleers. Our broadcaster, Robert Marcello, caught up with the closer, Gavin Hollowell, after the game with this post-game interview. We apologize for those technical difficulties. We'll have another interview here for you tomorrow. Really quick, reading around the rest of the league. Wareham is currently up in the bottom of the 7th, 7-4 on the Falmouth Commodores. In the bottom of the 5th, the YD Red Sox lead the Harwich Mariners. Bourne Braves up 5-0 at Doran Park over the Orleans Firebirds. And the Brewster Whitecaps are making up for lost time on the Chatham Anglers after getting shut out last night. They're up 5-0 at Veterans Field in the top of the 2nd. One last time, Harbor Hawks win their 2nd game of the year, 4-1 over the Kettleers. For my broadcast partners, Chris Lucy and Robert Marcello, I'm Lyle Goldstein signing you off. We'll see you guys tomorrow night at Veterans Field in Chatham.